What's up, folks? Welcome to this video. It's a little bit of a different one, but we decided to create a video on how we used to secure our homes in South Africa. And the reason for that is because we used to get a lot of comments even before we moved to Sweden about, like, wow, is South Africa really like dangerous? Is there really a lot of crime? And this video is definitely not about bashing South Africa. If you grow up there, you know how to live there and everything will be fine for the most part. But people always find it very interesting if we tell them, like, oh, this is like the gates we used, and like there's electric fences around the house and so forth. So we recorded a little bit of this footage right before we left, and we'll take you through how we used to secure our homes in South Africa. What we'll do is we'll start on the outside of where we used to live, and we'll work our way in, and we'll maybe take a look at some other like cool pictures and stuff of what security looks like in South Africa. Okay, so right here we have our complex that we used to stay in, or as they call it, a security estate or a gated community or whatever. There's a few names for that, and they come in different forms and factors in South Africa. Some of them have got guards on the outside with booms where they take your ID or driver's license and they scan it, and they scan your license disc to make sure it's your car. They call sometimes, like, just to make sure that the person you're visiting actually knows about this. So there's a lot of security already at the entrance. You'll see like stuff like electric fencing, a lot of that. Some electric fencing goes up from only a few lines, like maybe 4 to like 10 or 12 or 20 in some cases, lines high. Sometimes you'll see spiked bars on the walls. Sometimes people even will take glass, broken glass, and cement it on top of the walls, barbed wire, anything that can deter someone from climbing over your wall. So then at this entrance, you'll see maybe a little bit up the road, there's a guardhouse. So we used to have a private security firm that would patrol the road, and they would also have security officers stationed back up in the mountain where we lived, and they would patrol the mountain, they would patrol the roads, but things still happen. It's just because the criminals are really cunning in their ways. Anyway, so you would stop at our gate. We didn't have a physical person there because we had guards patrolling the area. There were cameras then. You would punch in the number. It would call the person that you want to visit on their cell phone. The surveillance, the surveillance camera is not only for the people to see who's at the gate, but it's also for the security company who's monitoring that camera 24/7. Some security companies place movement detectors on the gate, and they actually check if the gate has been forcibly opened, and if the gate is staying open for longer than it should. Sometimes like people would block the gate on purpose just to get in. Right, and so then you would move your way up. And you would drive through the gate, and you would reach our house. Now, we would have our own gate inside the security complex with our own electric fence, and that would carry on over the gate and all around our property. We also used to have some dogs, and the dogs also very, very good for security. People buy them for security purposes in South Africa. Obviously, we all love our animals, not just for security, but it really does help to have some animals. It's very sad in a lot of cases where the criminals would actually poison the dogs, and that's just a horrible type of human being that would do such a thing. In many cases, if your dogs have been poisoned, then like for the next few nights you sleep with one eye open. So then you would stop at the gate. You'd open up that gate. You come into the driveway. Then inside our property, so the perimeter of our property would be secured by infrared beams, and these beams would pick up if there's any movement in the area. You would especially arm it like through the day if you're working from home. You can disarm some zones and so forth. But it's also just to notify you that something is in your yard and that there's movement in your property. Then going around the property, you'll see very few houses in South Africa that actually don't have burglar bars, and it's these bars in front of all the windows that actually just stop someone from climbing in easily. And I say stop someone from getting in easily because there's many cases where we've had family where the burglar bars would have been broken off, or you would have used an angle grinder to get through the burglar bars. In the instance of some close family of mine, a criminal actually got undressed to be able to squeeze through the thin parts of the burglar bars. So these things are measures that you put in place to deter criminals, and I don't think anything will ever stop them per se. Right, so burglar bars all around. You'll see that our patio gate, even where we would sit and have a braai, that area we had a security gate that actually came down and closed off the area, so at night we could leave at least the sliding doors open to the house in summer when it's really hot, so we could still get a breeze through there behind the security gate. Speaking of security gates, right before we left for Sweden, we went for a mate's birthday, and it was actually interesting to see how the pub was secured with all the locks, and I'll put a video right in here. But also some serious security there. Then all your doors should have you should have either a steel door, right, and those are quite fancy. But the thing most people have is like a gate in front of your doors, and it's just an extra security measure, and so that you can also open your door and get some airflow in without someone coming in along with that. So all your doors protected by gates. Then you're in the house. In the house as well, we've got sensors, alarm sensors, movement sensors, of course. Again, those are just to notify you, and obviously all these things are connected to the security company, so that the security company also knows that you're in trouble. And most of the places in South Africa are armed response, so they will come out because our criminals are mostly armed. At the property that we used to stay in, like previously to the one before we left, they actually we had, similar to the roller shutters that I showed, we had big security gates and 3.5 or 4 meter high walls, and they actually pulled a car in under the gate as it was closing. It was a gate that rolled down, and 4 criminals came in there with heavy assault rifles and held up the woman who lived on the one side of the property. Luckily, she's okay, but it just shows you how brazen these people are and to what lengths they will go. The next part that we secure is we would usually have hallway gates. Now, some places, some people don't have these, but a lot of people that a lot of my friends have got these in their houses as well. So at night when you sleep, you lock the hallway gate, which means you lock away the rooms from the rest of the house. And again, this is just to add an extra layer of security. I've had family that's been burgled at night where they managed to make their way into the house, but because of the hallway gate, it bought her enough time to call for help. So a very important thing. And then lastly, if you can make your way past the hallway gate, then a lot of people in South Africa will have a firearm next to them, and or pepper spray or a baseball bat or a knife or whatever you have. And in many cases, you would have something stashed away for when you need it. So yeah, folks, that's that's the story. That's how we used to live in South Africa. Again, I don't want to make anyone scared of South Africa. For us, it's different, right? Like, you grew up there, you kind of know what to do and what not to do, you know. It's a beautiful country. It's not like that in every city. I would say the major cities especially have got suburbs that have to be secured like that. But obviously when you move out to places further out, there would be maybe less security. I do know, though, we have family on farms and their houses are almost equally secured. Again, it's a lovely country to visit, as long as you listen to the locals, play by the rules. It has a lot to offer. We just thought it would be really interesting to show you guys this. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you up with another farm update really soon.